Hi there, Wealth Rebels. So, welcome to the Wealth Rebels show. I'm your host, Emma Wright, and today I'm really delighted to bring you an interview with two super incredible women in business, female founders that I know you are going to love. You guys know that your wealth is about two things. The people that are following this show, number one, it's all about living a life of color. And to do that, we have to be peak performance in terms of our health. I always talk and bang on about your wealth being way more than money. It's all of the things that make up our wealth, from our well-being all the way through to our health. So today's guests are going to please everyone with their creations, their simplicity of how we can get super duper health into our bodies and feel our best. But number two, having massive impact. I believe that we came here to launch ventures, and most of the people that follow the show are also creatives wanting to found businesses, maybe don't know how to do it. And those businesses absolutely go on to change the world in a positive way. I really believe that entrepreneurship is the way that we get new things out there, because big businesses can't do the things that are needed to get new things out into the world. So that is why I wanted you guys on the show, Sophie and Nicola. You have created something that is definitely not going to disappoint my athletic audience we have following the Wealth Rebels show. We're going to be diving deep into why you both created health supplements, where you started out with what I believe is the most elite athletes, animals, horses. We treat animals better than we treat our own bodies, especially horses. And we won't put anything superficial into our four-legged babies. Yet in the human space, we put all sorts of nonsense into our bodies. It's so shameful. And you've therefore moved on to doing magic within the equine space and the animal space. And I can't wait to learn more about that, but also creating now men's and women's supplements, which I've had the pleasure of not only trying out, but purchasing. And I've just been talking about wanting to get the next box so I can get the next flavor of the collagen supplement that you do. I originally met you, Sophie, at the NEC
Yeah.
only a couple of weeks ago, where I was at the National Equine Show with my friend Lucy. I no longer have a horse. And then when I came along your show, along your stall, I was like, oh my goodness, we've got to try this collagen drink. And I now drink it every single day instead of my kombucha can at the end of the night, because I do not drink anymore. And so I just knew that I wanted to get to know you more, and I really wanted to bring you on the show because I just felt really, really strongly that the people that I work with and that I know need to know more about what you do, and we can get it out into the wider world because my network's global. So, Sophie and Nicola, welcome to the Wealth Rebels show.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Firstly, why don't you introduce yourselves? Let's start with you, Sophie. Tell me a little bit about you, who you are, and kind of, yeah, what it is that you do within your companies.
Okay. I'm one of the directors of Aviform, and also then Swish.Works. So the company of Aviform has been going for years and years, and it's all about animal well-being, just as you said, putting the right things into our animals. There's lots of things out there that, perhaps aren't scientifically proven, or haven't got the research behind it, but we very much believe that putting the right things in the products that work, not using bulkers and fillers where applicable, and just creating products that work, which has done really well for us. And then a few years ago, we decided to move more away from the basic sports nutrition products that we also did on a range, towards more well-being, because we found that with that market, it was a bit of a race to the bottom on price. And actually, people weren't so interested in the quality of the raw ingredient that they were taking, but more the fact they were just taking something. For us, that wasn't how we foresee it carrying on, and that doesn't work with our ethos. So Swish.Works has been developed, as I said, as a well-being brand. So we do raw ingredients of quality for sports athletes, people that go to the gym wanting different things from their body, different support. But also we've developed the collagen-based products. We've got them on their own, but the beauty and brains has been a real amazing product to bring to market, and we're really excited about it.
Oh, I'm really excited about it. Let me tell you, I've been raw for a long time. I've been taking raw supplements for years now with a company based out in Austria, and it really is the way forwards. I 100% agree because when you work within the sport industry and, it's all about performance and you're putting things into your body, athletes are now realizing, and it's not just athletes, people are realizing that we have to put good things into our bodies and we have to pay a really good price. And actually, the more good things you put into your body, the cheaper it is in the long term. And then often you don't need all the things. You can just need one or two things that's going to really support you. And collagen for women is so important. We need the brains, we need that fuel. That what a beautiful introduction into kind of what it is that you guys are going to bring today. Nicola, let me come over to you. What
Right.
is your part? Well, how do you guys work together? How? Because obviously, it was Sophie that I met at the NEC. Tell me a little bit about you, my love.
Yeah, so I moved to Norfolk, where obviously we're based, in 2004, and I didn't have anything to do apart from my horses. And I think you came to fit a saddle to one of my horses, and I was moaning how I actually was just bored with moving one pile of horse dung to another every day. And I was like, I'm so bored. I need something to do. And it sort of evolved from that, really.
Yeah.
And I joined Aviform in 2007 and very quickly got into the real heart of it. As Sophie says, it's formulation first, again and again, formulation first, quality ingredients, and treating our customers' pets like we would our own. As in, if you wouldn't put that in your pet, why would you want to put that in anyone else's? It's got to be, you've got to treat them like they're your own. And yeah, the collagen actually introduced itself probably 10, 15
Yeah,
years ago, and we introduced it into the pet side. And obviously having to get into the research with that and learning so much about it. And personally, I do have a habit of ending up in hospital because I've tried to break something. Well, no, I haven't tried. I usually manage to break something. It's always horse related. And obviously, knowing the benefits of collagen, I've always used it to help repair my body, either repair the scar from the operation or just generally repair sort of my body from the trauma. So it is definitely has been a staple in my life for a long time because there are so many benefits to it. So obviously I have that interest in the human, have interest in the pet side, but very much have an interest in the human side as well. So it is really exciting to take this forward with Swish.Works.
I love that. I love that. I think we know about the benefits of collagen for women because it's rammed down our neck, mostly because, oh, we're not allowed to age, we're getting older. But the benefit and this, I don't, I think that's just like marketing, isn't it? To get people to buy things. They play against our weaknesses. And that's what I love about this show. But for what I do here, I really like to go deep on genuine things that are going to help us. And, making sure for a really, really long time, I've been really passionate about learning about things. If I wouldn't put something on my skin, your skin is your biggest organ. Why would I then if I wouldn't eat it, it's not going on my skin. So that's what led me to some of my kind of research back in the day. And then I was thinking, blimey, I don't use toothpaste anymore. For 15 years, I've been using tooth oil. So I go really forensic on these things because at a deep cellular level, we carry trauma from all the things with fight, flight, freeze, the day-to-day stresses that we carry in our mind, which is why I really wanted your like, I've got your little flyer here in front of me, all the things that can help with brain function. Collagen, I'm going to come back to the benefits of collagen because I really want to know more about this because I think it's from what you're saying, it's not just women that need collagen. Because if that is something that we need to repair bones, I mean, again, this is something that I'm learning just today. When I had adrenal fatigue 6 years ago, I had to take really important B6. And then when I read it, I was like, there's B6 here. There's like all sorts of things like magnesium, ashwagandha, right? I love all of the different ingredients that are on this list, that I was like, I can get this in one drink on an evening. That's incredible. So let's firstly dive deeper into kind of, you talked about falling off the horse and, getting those injuries as athletes. And we don't have to be an athlete doing, being a pro tennis person or anything. We are all athletes in what we do, right? I run now mostly, most every other day. I love running and doing yoga. We're just talking off screen, we should treat ourselves and our bodies as we would an athlete, and our horses and our animals the same. What is the research therefore behind the collagen? What is it about collagen that makes it so important for repair and keeping our body peak performance?
Yes, well, I mean, we have collagen within us. It's depleting all the time. So why would we not want to put it back in? It's the structure, it's the structures in the skin, it's the structures in your body, so it's the repair. I mean, I always, when I go back after operations, the nurses are immediately like, wow, your scar has repaired so quickly. And I'm like, I can only put it down to the collagen.
And I think we forget to replenish in many cases with everything we do. A bit like where we've talked about electrolytes, and collagen's the same. We forget to replenish in some cases, and this allows you to do that. And this is, as you say, an all-in-one product. So this is great because you can take one drink and it's all in, but it doesn't mean you can't add other stuff to it if you want it. And depending on what you're doing as an athlete, there are the other types of collagen as well that you can add in if you wanted to, that do different things. So, and other ingredients, you can make your own drink, to what you need. You can be very specific to what you're doing.
Yeah, as women, collagen just diminishes. Like age 40, I think it goes off a cliff. And I am sure I walked through some sort of dark door. I'm 42. I think when turned 40, it was like someone had switched my brain off overnight, perimenopausal, things like that. We have all of these words, but fundamentally, we're just not getting the nutrients in our food anymore. We have decimated the soils in this world. People often say, I used to have an argument. I'm going to say this. I think I sometimes say things that I'm not meant to say. I used to have an argument with my ex-husband's, my mother-in-law, and it was almost like, well, why are you taking supplements? If you eat a square meal, you should get everything you need. Sadly, that is not the case anymore.
It's not the case anymore.
It's really not. And so we do need to say there's things that we need, like the magnesium that we need at the end of a day. Magnesium really helps us to sleep, right? Electrolytes are so important. I did interview a founder on the show who creates a little electrolyte drink called Ocean, and it's incredible, and that's just helping you to drink more water. And so it's like you say, you can create this eclectic mix, but what you've created with Swish.Works is a really lovely drink that has so many things in it that's going to help you with that energy and that brain work and get some collagen in. I take a bovine collagen in the morning in my tea, which is really big collagen because I've realized I've hit this wall. And as a woman, it's the repairing, and actually it's going the opposite. I've noticed that things are starting to come back, like after breastfeeding, your boobies go, and people are people are commenting on lots of things, and I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure it's the collagen. So then when I met you guys at NEC, I was like, having a drink in the evening that's going to help me to sleep better as well, because some of the things that we need to activate sleep, and it's not going to be a drink that I don't want to drink. I don't drink wine anymore. Is super important. And like you say, I think when we are moving through life and when we are working our bodies in a certain way, we need to have the ability to allow our bodies to repair and replenish, because we've got 11 bodily systems. They can work, but we just don't give it what it's needed to do the things. So I just love it. And I'll just say, I've tried and tested this. It's so easy to make on a night. I literally scoop it out, put water in it. Don't put fizzy water in it.
Never tried that.
You know, a friend of mine did try that, and it just goes everywhere because it's so active, because it mixes into it. And I was like, it made me laugh. Well, you can add fizzy, just don't add as much, actually, because
No, exactly.
Have a bigger glass.
Yeah. So let's look, what you obviously have, you've given a little bit of a story how you got into Aviform, and then it's morphed into also offering this for men and women. Let's dive a little bit deeper into kind of what you do in the animal space with Aviform, and what is it what are some of the well-being products that you have on offer for people that have horses and beautiful pets that they want to nurture and look after, that makes you different to other people out there, in terms of what you offer? Because I think it'd be great to know a little bit more about the four-legged
I
friend.
think because we do quite a range now. So because so many people have chickens in their back garden, and they have cats, and they have Cajun aviary birds, and I think it's that whole, we just put our ethos to each of them. So we're happy with the ingredients we use, the formulation again first, the same as it is with everything, making sure that the quality is there and that the products we're putting forward work. I would say the biggest area of growth is joints. Would you agree? Probably across
Joints
the board.
and digestion is catching up very quickly,
which is
great. I think is such a interesting sphere with digestion, because I just feel that everything comes from the gut.
Yeah, from the inside out.
And for me, that's my brain always goes gut.
Yeah.
What's happening in the gut? Because it affects so many different aspects of the body, or human and not human. So, and I think digestion is really catching up to joints.
Yeah, the digestion is, and that's across the board really, actually, in all of the ranges.
Yeah,
that's probably the fastest growing area.
And that's why I think we're quite a, let's say, leader, but we've gone into it very early into the postbiotics and even now, I think probably I would say 1 out of 20 people will know what postbiotics is. So
I do not. Literally, that's my life in this. I just wrote the word down. I always circle things. Post, and we've heard about prebiotics. What is postbiotics?
You've got a good way of explaining it.
So I had, but you know what? Do you know when you have things explained to you and you're like, I think I know what you're saying. And in the end, it was actually a simplistic video on YouTube. And I was a bit like, well, why didn't someone say that?
It's just like, why don't you just say it simple?
And so when we were at shows, I very much, there's no point baffling people with science, because they're just not going to get it. So I want to be able to put it across in the most simplest way. So if we think about prebiotics as being factory, and then we think about probiotics as the fuel that goes into the factory, and then we have that sort of, that combination working. And when the finished result is basically what you're trying to achieve, to give you the vitality, the immunity, and the general overall health, and to get the microbiome back to peak condition. What they've done is they have fermented out of the body, because basically biotics are a process of fermentation. So what they've done is they have externally fermented and gained that result. And that is what postbiotics is. So rather than taking of like, how much of percentage of a result am I going to get between the pre and probiotics, we're saying, here you are, have the end result. So we can guarantee you that 100% result, because however much of a scoop we're going to give you, the doses that we advise you to take, that is your end result. And that is what postbiotics is.
I love that. So it's actually saving the body a job, really, of having to create it and
Yeah.
giving it in its natural form as well. Because I
Yeah.
think one of the biggest challenges we have within the supplement space is when we take things that are fake and our body doesn't recognize it. And then I know if you take a B vitamin, is it your wee goes blue or something? You know, if it just goes out of you, there's something like that. I'm probably like giving misinformation here, but you know, it is like when you take things and it's
Yeah.
like it's not even taking it in, it's a complete and utter waste of money. So, you know, we were talking about the price value because I do a lot about money talk as well with my Welch show. We can pay cheap, get something that just does not do anything or isn't taken into the body or could take time to be created, or you could pay more, have it ready for you, like synthetically created, because obviously you're doing the work, but then it is actually the finished product that the body's going to recognize, and you can just take
Yeah.
it in and it's effective. I love that. And it is, I love that. I didn't even know there were pre, pro, and post. So
Well,
This
and
is very new.
that's why at this very moment, in this moment of time, we still have pre and probiotics in the formulation,
Yeah.
simply because we know that, unfortunately, with the understanding at the moment, customers are
They're
not
going to
going to
look for
just
that.
buy the postbiotics. They're looking for prebiotics. They're asking for probiotics.
I love that. It's like coaching. We always say, give them what they want, but then also give them what they need.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And it's
Exactly.
education, isn't it? And
It
it's across
is.
the board with whether it's human or whether it's animals, with veterinary doctors. Everybody has to learn and things change. And it sometimes takes a while for people to accept that that is working, that something's progressed, something's changed, something's developed. So we're still finding that vets are saying to the clients, you know, go and buy a pre and probiotic. And well, my vet says I need this. It's like, okay, so you can have that. But like you said, we're putting the postbiotics in as well because we know that that is where it needs
They're
to
going
be.
to see the difference in their animal, right? Because they're getting a faster result, which is then helping. I mean, this isn't about, you know, pumping you up and taking steroids to get a faster result. This is about
Right.
giving you a faster result that is actually going to be hugely beneficial
Yeah.
to your well-being and your performance. You're giving your body two things, like you've talked about this, Nicola, so well, like, you know, with joints
It is
and Sophie.
a better result,
Yeah.
because they've actually researched that result. You know, you can research prebiotics, you can research probiotics, but you can't actually research the result that's happened in your body.
Yeah, because that'd be
So
slightly
they can
different for
research the
everybody.
postbiotics. And that's the thing I like, that, you know, I think they even, and I was like, why would you do that? But they even researched that dogs ran faster on postbiotics. And I was like, where did the brain
Yeah,
go
what
to
led them to do
research?
that?
I mean, the main thing is
We love research, don't we? And I think a lot of the time I'm going to go full on like into my conspiracy. Often it is to make money. We have to have the research because then we can commoditize it and make money from it. And a lot of what I find that founders are doing is they're not doing it for the money. They're doing it for the right thing and the output. Yes, I'm going to give you your pre and pro because that's what your vets are saying, but I'm going to give you what you actually need as well. And I think you run faster as well. If you are tackling the two things, joints, we know if we don't move, it debilitates everything. I'm a masseuse, right? If my arms and my body is not moving, I can't do my job. It's really debilitating. And if we can't like move our body and we have pain in
yeah,
joints, because your joints are like they are like so important. We know we start getting rheumatoid arthritis or any form of arthritis in your joints, your life becomes really, really unpleasant from a mental perspective, and then you attach yourself from a mental perspective to the pain. So it's
Yeah.
tackling all sorts of things, giving someone the freedom to be able to live their lives. You know, if I could not run,
Yeah.
Literally. So which actually I'm really curious. Obviously I'm taking at the minute the collagen drink, but is there one of your products that is really great, another supplement that's great for the, in Swish.Works for the human, that's going to give me the movement and the digestion as well? Because digestion, again, we'll go deeper into the gut. I think that's another level. Is that, what kind of supplements do we need? What is it that you offer that's going to help me keep me moving in my life?
We're not quite there yet. Obviously, we have a lot of experience with the horses, with the joints. And again, this was the beginning of our collagen journey, because I'm sure when you say you used to have a horse, and I always call it your usual suspects, glucosamine, MSM, chondroitin, and we always look at what should be in that formulation. And I think it was about 10 years ago, it got to the point where it was like, mine's better than yours. Everybody's got around the same ingredients in, but I've got more in mine. And there was a real war sort of going on between joint supplements and companies. And the decision was made that we wanted to do something that was completely different, and actually tackling the issue of not just what's going around in the bloodstream, of like what is actually happening. And we wanted to tackle the issue of arthritis, of what happens when collagen depletes in the articular cartilage. So this was when we started the research on collagen. And obviously it's got to be the right kind of collagen, because you have your collagen for your skin and your hair, but it's a different type. So it's type 2 of collagen that you would need to put back in the articular cartilage. And so this is what we use for, as we would say, more challenged
Joints.
old joints.
Yeah.
This is something that we will be putting through to Swish.Works. We do, on a basic level, we do have bovine collagen.
So is that different again?
Yes,
bovine collagen, because I take bovine collagen from another company, because I have found you afterwards, by the way. So I take that in the morning, because I really believe in meat for us. Like, I have tried being vegan. I love plant-based. I love the alkalinity, the argument that our bodies are meant to be more alkaline state, but I really believe we're meant to eat meat. So I take a strong bovine collagen in the morning, and I'm drinking your beautiful collagen drink in the evening to balance me out. What types are those then? There's different types. I'd love a little bit more detail on that. I think it's a really wonderful insight into understanding the collagen argument.
We have type 1, which is what you would see for your skin and your nails. So type 1,
which is what's in the Beauty and Brains.
Yeah, this is the brain. Then you have this type 2 that you want. And there's different types of collagen, and it's also where it comes from, what part of the body it comes from in that animal as well. And this is something that we are at this moment in time doing more research on and delving more into it, because we need to get it right, and we want to make sure we get it right.
Wonderful.
We have the bovine on its own, and we also have the marine on its own. So if people might already be taking something else, like we said earlier, and they want to just add one or other in, then they can have it on its own as well.
What's marine, my love?
That is for your skin and hair. So that's what's in the Beauty and Brains. So, but I would say that I have had quite a lot of feedback. Obviously, we've not done the research on this, but lots of clients that are on the Beauty and Brains have also made comments that they are feeling that their mobility has improved on that as well. But that isn't the direction the research has taken with that form. No. But a good majority of who have taken it have said, "Oh my God, I'm feeling so much more mobile as well." But I think that's because it's a combination of the ingredients.
I think also,
sorry, my love.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think it's the energy as well, from the zinc and the magnesium and I mean ashwagandha as well.
Yeah.
That if that was my hero product, it would actually be ashwagandha.
What are the benefits of ashwagandha? in the mix?
I think it does help with anxiety, helps with my brain when I'm sitting in a podcast going, I know what I want to say. I know what I want to say. My brain's going 90 miles an hour, but I can't get it out in my words. And it's so hard when you say your brain's going 90 miles an hour and you know what you want to say. So I can always tell if I haven't been taking my ashwagandha, because I do sit in a meeting. I go, do you know what I mean? I mean this, and I just can't get the word out, and it's so frustrating.
Because you take this in the morning, so I'm thinking maybe, as I'm thinking, I could be having my strawberry one in the morning, and I have my bovine drink. And then on an evening, you said there were benefits of the different ones, because one, it can give you energy, and then it can help you to sleep as well, because it can create the sleepy
works differently. I think it gives your body what it needs. With the magnesium, I think if you need that, your body will take and absorb, and that will work. And I think at whatever time of the day, there are benefits for you taking it, and you can take it in the morning and in the evening. But you could also do half doses, so a smaller dose in the morning and a smaller dose in the evening, one of each flavor, and then you're not, having. It's not that you can have too much, but your body will only absorb so much.
That's it. Your body will always take what it needs. And I know that when we've got electrolytes, if we don't have the fluidity, they're going to get stuck. And this is why I do massage. I'm a big believer in massage, because it helps with the body to move the energy and unblock the lymphs and create that flow. So there's often, when we start to do good things in our body, we see loads of benefits, because we'll start sleeping better, and then we'll start doing more things that are good for us, and it spirals out of it. But it feels like a big part of it is starting with the collagen aspect, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see this product come in, the new product, the type 1 product, because I've worked with a lot of clients that have had rheumatoid arthritis, and it's been debilitating. And a huge part of arthritis is that it's stress related. Anxiety is not something that we should live with. It's a big mindset piece, because we don't feel like we're good enough. There's huge mindset shifts. We're in fight, flight, and freeze when we shouldn't be, because we're detecting all sorts of threats. And our body stores all of the trauma, whether you've fallen off your horse trauma or just mental trauma, in the body at a deep cellular level, and then that trauma starts to crystallize, and that's when we get arthritis. And we don't realize that we can reverse this. I do a huge amount of work with heat, hot and cold, the hot and the cold. I live in sauna. If you can't find me in here, I'll be probably in sauna, in the sea, in the ocean, doing the hot and the cold down in I'm in North Devon, so down at Saunton. Or it's creating that movement, and then it's what you are fueling and putting into your body. And I had no idea that there was a different type of collagen. So that's been a revelation for me today. And you're saying that this is already in the animal products, then it's already in what you're giving your animals. So if we're giving the animals this sort of thing, we let's not just be superficial. And this is the thing, you're going deeper than that superficial. There's nothing superficial about what you do. We're actually saying we want to give a different type of collagen to enhance and really make sure that we don't get arthritis in the first place.
It was trialed initially just as a sort of side project while we were launching it in the equine. We had a couple of sort of big bodybuilders on our books and say that sort of and we were like, try this. We think, because obviously their body, the strain they put their body under with the lifting the really heavy weights, and they were coming back and just saying how fantastic they were feeling. I mean, it does take time, because there is no blood flow in the articular cartilage, so it does take time for it to diffuse into. And like with the equine, they had to They had to extend the research to 6 weeks, but they were doing on incredibly arthritic American trotters. So, you know, we always give the caveat of, look, it's not going to be an overnight. It will take time. But then I think that's collagen all over. It takes time. And they were coming back and saying that, you know, their joints were feeling the best they'd felt for a very long time.
And this is for runners as well. I'm in a big running community, you know, and we talk about the knees. Oh, I need to have a knee up. This could save so many people, because the biggest thing with running is your cartilage, isn't it? It's probably the things around your knees that mean that you are in utter pain. Literally, I did an 11K run on with Lucy that you met at the show, because she's running the London Marathon, and her knees are the things that are really bothering her. She's wearing, I'm sure she won't mind me saying this, she's wearing knee supports to run in, because she's going to be doing a marathon. And so like your trotters, your horses, we're putting all this pressure on our joints, and our cartilage is going, you know, everyone tells me, why are you running? You've started running at 40, you're going to destroy your body. And I'm like, no, I'm not, because I'm doing all of these things. And when we are so there's two things here, isn't there? There's destroying of a cartilage because we're not able to replenish. And so it's amazing to see that where there is no blood flow, we can rebuild cartilage in our bodies to rebuild. So we don't necessarily need a knee operation, and or, you know, the things that have been debilitating. But
why
also,
get to that point? What, you know, if we
yeah,
say not getting to that point by taking these ingredients, why would you not do that? But as you say, we do it for our pets.
And that's
we do it for our
you know,
horses,
the
but we don't
regulations for pets are really, really stringent. It's very difficult to manufacture products within regulation. There is for animals more specific, and surprisingly, it's actually easier to make products for humans.
yeah, because they just feed us everything. Half the time they're poisoning us with the water that we drink, right? I'm like constantly getting news feeds from Bear Grylls telling me I need to put something in me tap, water toothing. Literally, it's diabolical, is the let's face it, it's shameful, the way that we are allowed to feed our bodies as humans. And it's great the fact that you have come, I mean, that is even more of a reason why you would want to take your products, because you have put this through the animals more stringent, and you have seen results with animals that can't talk. The results are in the animals' behavior and results. One thing that I was going to say is, because I'm doing my anatomy and physiology at the minute, when we're bodybuilding, what we're doing, and I cannot remember the name of the process, but we're constantly tearing our muscles, and it's actually the repairing of the muscles that creates more muscle, which creates the bigger pecs. And so the repair phase is really, really important. And I'm assuming in that part that's when we need the type 1 collagen, maybe in that part, or is that type 2? Or I guess it's just all of it, really. It's just all of it is what we need to be allowing the body to repair.
It's the type 2, but it's to do with the protein as well, you know, with the repair from the protein. But collagen is high in protein as well. So there is that link as well. If for repair, you're looking at even if you go back even further, you're looking at the amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein.
It's
collagen. So, you know, for my brain, if we start talking about repair, I would even go as far back as of looking at going back down to the amino acids. You know, we have that. We do have for our horses, again, going into the performance, we have a product to repair muscle. And
I know Lucy will be watching this, because she's at the minute, one of my clients as well is a horse masseuse, an equine massage therapist. So I'd love to connect, because I think all of the people that are working in this space are working on their clients' movability, if you like, for their horses, the horses that can't really tell you. So you've got your massage therapist there on these yards. I think they're going to really love the products that you're bringing. But then from my perspective, selfishly, I am really excited that we will have this for humans as well. And the difference between the joints, but also the gut part, we know now that our brain is in our gut. We shouldn't be using the brain to make decisions. It's the mind body connection and the spirituality of energy is now being proven that our gut, our intuition, everything that makes us human, it's all in our gut. um tell me a little bit about how your products serve then the gut element, not just the joints. I'm just curious a little bit just to dive into that part.
We've just on the Swish.Works side, we have just recently launched our super greens, which is we tried a few others that were on the market. We'd been asked for it quite a lot. And we thought, well, again, what we do, it has to work, it has to taste good. Otherwise, people aren't going to commit to it. If you have to taste something that isn't very nice, I know we all do it, but you're far more encouraged if something tastes good. And we've created a product that actually is, I must say, I'm not very good at looking at things and going, that looks tasty when it's green. I'm like, green drinks, I'm not sure. But actually, we've used the same mango flavoring. We have got it on its own, which actually is very palatable. But with the mango flavoring, it's great. Even my kids will drink it. I think that's brilliant. But that's got an array of ingredients in it. It's got spinach powder, broccoli, spirulina, wheatgrass, kale, vitamin D again, apple fiber, apple juice, and other ingredients in there. So that'll be the next thing we probably do on our taste tests, I should imagine, at the shows, because you've seen how well the taste tests work. People have to taste it to believe in it, and it is a really good product.
And it's quite a smite taste as well.
It's not gritty like you would think maybe something like that might be.
We did take the hit of trying quite a few and them not being very nice at all. And as you say, if we don't want to take it, why would we expect anyone else to take it? It may do the best things in the world, but reality kicking in, customers got to want to drink it.
And it's keeping things simple, I find. When I go to the yard with Lucy, I forget how much your routines are when you're trying to make all your food for your horses and you're popping all your potions and lotions in. It's got to be simple, even more so for us with children. And if your children can drink it, that's amazing, because it drives me crazy when I have to find things for the children. And then I'm thinking, if I'm giving my children this and I'm not going to eat that, because I'm really fussy, sometimes I find it really challenging because I won't eat something. But then I'm like, well, Harry and Rose, I need to get them to eat something right now. They're 3 and 6, and they mostly eat what I eat. But there's still some things that, they still want the stuff, right? And then I feel bad like saying they can't have Cocoa Pops, because I'm like, well, I would not shove that stuff in my body, not a chance. But sometimes you've got to let them have fun as well. But the fact that if we can create a rhythm whereby we can get, in the morning we have our collagen and we have something that's going to keep it going.
Mix those. The college with the Beauty and Brains and the super greens mix perfectly.
I really, and then having the drink with the super greens as well. And if I were drinking, then I could just get them to have a little drink with that. And I don't even need to tell them, because they're going to just drink it and taste it. I think it's wonderful. I love making smoothies in the morning. I have got a NutriBullet. And what I love about your stuff, you don't need the NutriBullet. It's like it just makes a drink. But sometimes I just love making stuff where I bosh all sorts of things in, because it tastes really nice. It's like making a little meal.
For the Beauty and Brains, that is the main thing that held it up, was the taste profile in the collagen. Without saying any particular brand, I obviously been taking very popular brands that tasted terrible tasted really bad, but again, your brain's going, no, you need to take this because you need to get the benefits from it. And this was probably slightly before we had the collagen in the building. And so when we went down this line, obviously going back to the marine collagen, it's like, well, it's fishy, it's marine, well, and actually, interestingly, all of the women in the building, were very much like, well, that's what fish collagen tastes like. And it did actually take the male in the room to say, no, this is not acceptable. And we were like, but that's the way. And he's like, he was very
like,
much,
no, you can't give people that. It's revolting.
It's not in this building. It's not going to happen.
No.
So it took a while for us to find a collagen that did not taste fishy.
And I love that. I love the dynamic of men and women working together, because women sometimes just accept things and sometimes the guys will not accept it. And that's why it's great to have, men and women together, because it creates such a balance of, moving things forwards in the right direction. I love that it took the man in the room to go, no, fishy stuff, right?
He put it in water and we were like, why would you do that? And he's like, well, why would I not? We were like, but it will taste horrible. And he was like, but then that's not acceptable. And like,
I love that. I love that so much. And I love that, we can all lean into our energies and we can support each other to move innovation forwards, because it is innovation. We're constantly innovating or exploring different ways of getting things into our bodies in a system that's going to really work, because it is all about making it palatable, making it easy, and making it actually super effective. I've really noticed the difference. I've really only been taking collagen for 2 months, and I've noticed a big difference. People have stopped me in the street, especially my hair. People have stopped me and said, what are you doing to your hair? Or, why are you always glowing? And I'm like, I do not feel like I'm glowing today. And I do really believe that it's been it's been the collagen for me, because I've been quite focused on it. I've stripped back a lot of the things that I've been taking to not to test things out, but to simplify my life, because for me, things were getting too complicated, and we need to have that simplistic approach.
Right, doesn't it? It has to be easy. And otherwise you end up just forgetting, or I haven't got time for that. Whereas if it's quick, simple and easy, then you're a good step way there.
100%. I've had a brain fart now, because I wanted to say something that was in the back of my brain that was just really important, and it's completely gone from my mind, and I'm sure it'll come off as soon as we hit stop. But is there anything that anybody needs to know about before we sign off today? If they're listening and they're wondering about collagen, they've got joint pains, or they're wondering about any of the topics that we've talked about, is there one little final thing each of you wants to just leave the audience with, whilst I allow my brain fart to catch up with me?
There is always a solution, and I'm not saying the big solution, because I would never say, don't go to the doctors, don't, if you need more, not intervention, that's not the right word, more support. Yes, I mean, I'm on HRT, so I would never put anyone off going to the doctor if they're really feeling like they really need help. But there is so many ingredients out there that will very much make your life a whole lot better. And I think with the collagen, as you're saying, how people are stopping with your hair, and I think collagen is that silent depletion that you don't notice that it's depleted. But it's not till you start putting it back in your body that you're reaping all the benefits and realizing actually how much you had depleted in your body.
The body can heal itself. And often as women, it's a little bit obvious, but when we have babies, we just think, oh, well, my boobs are a bit, and my hair's falling out, because you lose half your head of hair when you have babies. So you just think, this is my life now. And I look better now than I did at 22. I am sure, because I'm finally not boozing, getting sleep, and putting things into my body. And I really believe the body is able to completely and utterly defy age and all the things that we hear about as men and women as aging, when we give it what it needs for the 11 bodily systems to work in beautiful harmony, you know, homeostasis, all of the beautiful things. So I love that. What about you, Sophie?
I would just say be aware of what you're buying, because everybody, we have the ability to show you everything that you're putting into your body, and it's easy, like, we don't know unless you look into it. You don't know. And there's, so like Nicola was saying, you know, you don't have to put up with something you really don't want to take because of the taste. You know, again, that solution, there's always something that's there to support you, that will support what you need. But those quality ingredients are important. But like I say, what we're not getting from our veg now, all of those things that we can improve from the soil, you know, for the growing of those things, you know, there's ways of improving it. So just knowing a little bit more about what you're putting into your body.
Question everything, and research.
Yeah, I think so. That's what probably puts a lot of people off. And that's why I love to create this program, because it brings a really great conversation together. We're always learning. I've learned so much today, and you've just reminded me of my brain fat, Sophie. So thank you very much, because I was thinking it was more about the taste. I do believe that when we taste things, because we are so addicted to sugar, our body thinks it needs a certain thing. And often when we crave salt and crisps, it's because we are depleted in some sort of electrolyte. So the more that we can allow our body to change, the taste thing changes. We do taste things differently. And that's why I don't know, I find your drink so delicious, probably because I'm so used to drinking things that my body needs. And so the taste thing is, I think it's an evolution, that we're not putting, our taste buds are so broken, probably because we're so addicted to sugar, that we then don't taste things. But tasting things is not acceptable. We don't have to put things into our bodies that taste revolting. We can enjoy it as well, and it's wonderful. I'm actually thinking now I need to go and get the super greens. I'm so happy, because that will give me again an added layer of something to start fueling my body, to give me vitamin D as well, right? The things that our body just doesn't get in the UK because of the sunlight. So if we can take and allow our bodies to get all the things it needs for healthy joints and a healthy gut and a brain that functions, everything else is just going to fall into place.
Yeah, absolutely.
So our next project is electrolytes.
Yes, we're in
the
taste
process.
testing at the moment. That was interesting. The first taste test,
did not go well.
So yeah, we're working on it.
I love it. You're working on it, and you're just bringing your magic to the world. You know, you are thinking of ideas, and you are bringing it out into the world, and we need more people like you, with the knowledge that you have. It's just phenomenal. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. All the links for finding Nicola and Sophie's amazing solutions in the two companies, Aviform and Swish.Works, are in the show notes. Please, please do connect with these wonderful ladies, and thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you.